Tottenham Hotspur 1, Newcastle United 2, a fait accompli from minute 1 until minute 90. Outclassed, outdominated, outworked, outfought. Every second ball, every phase of the game, every part of the pitch, Newcastle United, who have just won their third away game of the season, completely dominated Tottenham Hotspur. Not for the first time this season, not for the first time this month. Tottenham Hotspur failed to turn up in the first half of a Premier League game and go in consequently into the break, losing. And you know what happens when you lose the first goal this season as a Tottenham Hotspur fan? It means we don't win. We never win. And this performance was so abject in the first half, so utterly unacceptable that Thomas Frank has to leave the football club tonight. We are, as it stands right now, if things stay the way they are, 3 points off of relegation. The question of whether we are or not in a relegation battle is no longer relevant. The only question is, how can we stop ourselves finding ourselves playing in the Championship next season? It is that bad, ladies and gentlemen. It is an absolute mess. From top to bottom, Thomas Frank has to go. He cannot stay at this football club. I haven't called for his head before tonight. Not because I rate him, not because I have any faith in him, but because I don't know where we go from here. I don't know where we go if we sack him. I don't know where we turn to. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It does not matter where we turn to. We can figure that out tomorrow. Tonight, we have to go because staying where we are, staying with what we have, is going to lead us in one place and one place only, and that is 18th or lower in the Premier League. He's lost the dressing room, clearly. He doesn't have the words. He doesn't have the ability to motivate. And this is abject. Once again, the performance was horrendous. Yes, we can talk about injuries. Yes, we can talk about bad luck and unfortunate instances. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you have to corral the team that you have. You have to find the right words to motivate the players. There is no direction. There's no plan. There's no cohesiveness. There's nothing to get behind. As a Tottenham fan, if you feel like I do, if you saw what I said at halftime, I was furious. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The second half, you couldn't get any worse. You couldn't have got any worse. So for me, I've tried to be as patient as I can. There's only one solution tonight. And if Vinay doesn't take it, then I think that he needs to go as well. Because this is a tough decision to make. But only if you genuinely think that because you stuck by Arteta, that somehow this is the same. It's not the same. The stakes are far higher. The scenario is entirely different. Arteta is not Thomas Frank. Arsenal are not Tottenham. They weren't in 17th or 16th where we currently sit in the league. He has to go right now. Let me bring in the boys and see where we're going to go with this one. Please do smash the like button, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Super chats are always welcome if you want to get your thoughts over your chat. I'll try and bring all the comments up, but it's going to be a busy one, I can imagine. Notification bell button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. I appreciate you. This show is sponsored by OK Jersey. If you're looking for football clubber, probably not Tottenham. If you're looking for something else, international gear, whatever, you can find it. New, old, retro, Jeremy Jacquet's there. You know where you can go. Get 8% off at checkout using code Sean. Appreciate all of you for being here. Let's bring in the first couple of guys that are with us. Adam and Aaron, big up to you guys. How are you, boys? AC, Adam, I'll start with you, my man. You okay?
The camera's off.
I don't really feel much at the moment, Sean. I'm incredibly numb with what's going on at the moment. I don't think that as a Spurs fan we could be in a worse situation. We've got not only the legitimate chance of playing in the Championship next season, but it's at the exact same time that Arsenal are probably the most likely to win the Premier League and the Champions League, planting the flag on European soil, and then we're falling into the relegation zone at a time where we have an ex-Gooner running the show at the top as well. Like that, the whole thing makes me sick. The whole thing is absolutely gut wrenching. And then I put a poll in the in the WhatsApp group the other day about like what are we going to do? Or do we have any hope regarding what if we manage to stay up? What next season could look like? Is there at all a possibility that the management thought, do you know what, Frank he won't get relegated. He's crap, but he won't get relegated. We can't get any better right now, so we'll just leave it until the summer. We'll bring back Poch. That'll placate the fans. We'll spend our war chest. And all this is going in my head as pure cope. You know what I mean? Pure cope. That maybe something like that could happen. At this point, there's no doubt in my mind.
I'm not even worried about the summer and the war chest right now, Adam.
I know.
I'm terrified about what's going to happen. Like
I think exactly what you said.
We are going down as it stands, mate. We are
exactly what you said. Yeah, exactly what you said. If we keep Frank, if he isn't sacked tonight, we are going down. There has to be someone coming in more competent than him. There has to be a new manager bounce that gets us through a few games. There has to be. There absolutely has to be, because there's no way that we're getting with Frank still in charge, we're going anywhere but towards the championship. That's exactly it. Like, that's done. He's got to go.
There's nobody in this team. There's not a single person in this team that I can think of that, or not many, right, that have any experience in a scrap, in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Leeds tonight, fighting for their lives. Look at West Ham over the last 3 weeks, fighting for their lives. Every nook, every cranny, every second ball, every time the ball falls in a 50-50, they're coming out with it, or the majority of the times. Even if they're outclassed in style, they're not outfought. Tottenham Hotspur tonight, and for the most part this month, it's like they're daydreaming. It's like, I mean, God only knows what Jed Spence smoked before he got on the pitch tonight and before the game. He was like, I've never seen a guy so, like, just so far off it. I mean, we'll talk about the game with the players in a second, right? But like, Adam, I'm so angry, I'm trying to stay calm, mate, because I had a few beers, but I am fucking fuming with the performance of the players on the pitch, the manager. There's nothing here that sells me that these guys can motivate themselves to get out of this battle. Like, we are fighting for our lives, and we don't give a fuck. It's like we're assuming that because there's a few points between us and the people behind us, and that we've got better players, although have we? I don't know. That all of a sudden, like, don't worry, we'll win. When was the last time we won a fucking game, Adam? When was the last time we won a game of football? That was in the Premier League. I can't remember.
The Premier League, yeah. We haven't this.
Palace. It was Palace, wasn't it?
We haven't this side of Christmas, have we? I don't think this side of Christmas we have. The thing as well is that, like, to add insult to injury, we think about the fact that, like, again, I know they clearly don't want to back Frank, but for F's sake, like, for us to stay out of the championship, they should have done something it's only 9 days into February. 9 days ago, 10 days ago, they could have sorted this out by bringing in players. Look at Otterberg gone down now today. Otterberg's gone down. How many players have we got left that can actually do anything? There's nothing. There's nothing on the pitch. There's nothing in the dressing room. There's nothing in management. There's nothing. We are literally up shit creek without a paddle, to use a well-worn expression. There's nothing. As I said, like, you'll be very, very fortunate at this point to bring in a new manager and get a few good games out of a new manager bounce, and hope that's enough. Hope that gets us 17th.
It's all I've got to hang on to is a new manager bounce, mate.
That's it. That's
Adam,
it.
Let me bring in Aaron. Big up to you, Sava boy. Thank you for the raid, my man. I appreciate you, bud. Aaron, man, welcome back to the streams. Nice to see you got a new camera. You're looking all sort of mic'd up and cammed up, man. You're looking.
You know how it is.
How are you feeling, man? I feel like you're vindicated. You're a man who's vindicated because
well,
you had this take for a long time, right?
Yes, I did. And me and Adam spoke in the group chat, and he was calling me a Burke because I went really early. Yeah, I see it. I saw it.
No.
Second game. Yes, I did.
I don't mind. No. I don't mind your takes, Aaron. I don't mind your takes. It's the way you do it. It's the way you do it.
Enough of that. No, I don't want to get into that shit. Aaron.
Yes.
Are we in a relegation scrap?
Yes, we are.
Can we get out of it with Thomas Frank in charge?
No, we cannot. And I have said from the start, this guy is not it. Yeah. And I said, I think it was a few shows ago, where I said I thought it was the beginning of the end from when he couldn't get over the line from PSG. I said that earlier, and I still believe that to this day. He couldn't get over the line at PSG, and from then on, it showed that he was the ultimate Spurs manager, and here we are today. I said it. I remember in the group, I was going off. Everyone was like, Aaron, you only say it when we lose. We only talk when we lose. Here we are now. And it's the worst ever because it literally looks like we're going down. Because everyone else looks better than us. The people that are below us, we can't beat them. Frank can't find a way. I understand the players aren't good enough, the injuries, but you're paid to find a way. Or you might as well have me in charge. You know? You're paid to find a way. Even if you stink the place up and 0-0 it, stink the place up, do something. But he's doing absolutely nothing. We know the injuries are there. Everyone's injured. The board have let us down. The player, like we said, the players aren't good enough. The Odegaards, the Tels from Kane, Son. But you have to find a way. Like, you have to. Even if it's 0-0, stink the place up, you have to find a way. Or anyone might as well be in charge. You might as well be managerless at this point. I don't see anything. It's not looking good.
Are the players fighting for him?
No, they're not. And I think the reason why I know that it's done, is because you remember when someone put some quotes up when they asked him, you know, when all the players liked Romero's post, and they were like, "Is he starting to revolt?" And he's like, "Well, some of the players don't like me, but as long as they work hard," and he just confirmed that so the players don't like him. He actually confirmed it.
Is that what?
Yeah. There's quotes about it. Yeah. There's quotes where he goes, "Some of them might not think I'm the guy, but as long as they work hard on a pitch, I don't care," which confirms that the players are not working for him. That's why you see this wish-wash.
I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
Yeah. There's quotes. They put it. They're out, and everyone's like, "What are we doing here?" Billy, your guy Billy, he put up the quote.
Okay. I thought I was looking at that WhatsApp group, man. It's too wild. It's too mad. I've got to tell that.
It's not good.
Mental. I didn't know that. Saba, big up to you, man. First of all, thank you for the raid, mate. Was that one of the worst first 45 minutes of football you've ever seen? Or where are you at right now, mate? I know you text me saying, you know, I know me and you are in a bit of a difficult position because we haven't been banging the Frank out drum. But like after tonight, I've got to be honest. I've got to say, like, he has to go tonight, Saba, right?
Yeah. He needs to go. My immediate concern goes to, I think that people are going to get a real shock because this is the worst group of players I think I've seen in my 40 years as a Spurs fan. I think there is absolute shit up front and in midfield. And at the back, I listen, he needs to go. I am not doubting that in any way, shape or form, Sean, right? Managers live and die by results and he's not getting them. I look at it from the other way as well, though, right? What magician is coming in and taking these absolute shambolic championship level footballers and getting us wins? Because I've said to you all season, Sean, I don't know where goals are coming from with these group of footballers.
Yeah, you have. You have. 100%.
I said, Mike, listen, I wanted it to work with Frank. I'm not going to apologize for that, for wanting it to work with a manager. It's not worked, right? My worry in the summer, Sean, said it was negligent. I said we did the bare minimum of what we actually needed to do. So we didn't replace the goals of Maddison, of Kulu, of Son. We didn't buy a left winger to even replace Son. We then get to this January window and we've got, I think at the time, it was like 6-7 injuries. You get to the end of the window, we've now got, if I'm not wrong, with Odegaard going down tonight, I believe that's now 13 first-team players injured. And they did nothing to bring in any forwards. You've got a young DM playing at right back. You've got a right back playing at left back. You're down to 2 centre-halves, one who's just been out for a year, right? You've got, other than Xavi Simons, who plays in patches, not one of them gets the ball in that final third, and I go, something's going to happen here. And I'll be honest, what manager, Sean? I'm not saying he doesn't need to go, right? I know everyone will, I'm not saying he doesn't need to go. He's going to go. He's going to go.
What does a new manager do? Yeah.
In their right mind, with any worth, right, goes, oh, Spurs, let me accept that phone call. Yeah, I'd love to come and take over this shit show with all your injuries, playing twice a week and no players available. I would take
Ryan Mason over Frank right now.
No, fuck Ryan Mason. Fuck Ryan Mason. No, just give it to Heitinger if you have to. But I just think that maybe Thomas Frank's, like, I watched Jed Spence's performance tonight, and in the first half, I was like, what is he doing on the pitch? Like he's either not fit or he doesn't care. He doesn't give a fuck. Either way, he shouldn't have been picked. He shouldn't have been picked. He was atrocious. He was jogging out of position, playing people on side. I've never
Sousa
seen
had a great game the last game.
Anyone in my life, Adam. Go on.
Yeah, Sousa had a great game the last game. I don't like, for what it's worth, for the first, lacing on his boots for Spurs for the first time, he played fine. So what would be the problem playing him on the left instead of playing Spence, who's he as you say, he looked completely out of sorts. I don't understand that.
He's not fit or he doesn't care, right? But like in that first half, the performance from that team was absolutely abject and disgusting. Like disgusting. Eddie Howe's got the fucking voodoo over Tottenham. He knows how to set him up against Tottenham, but they didn't have like Willock and Ramsey smashed down midfield. Bissouma and Bissouma was and Pape Sarr in that first half. I wanted to punch them in the face. I was so they were completely anonymous, completely irrelevant. All I'm saying is, if you sack him tonight, I don't know where you go. I don't know who I certainly don't want to go and get like a full-time replacement tomorrow. That's too much, right? But bring someone in because I believe that at this stage, it's clear that yes, all of the other things are true around injuries and all that stuff, but there's always a point where the players stop caring. And half of the new manager bounce isn't new ideas. It's that the players that stopped caring because they don't rate the manager, they suddenly they raise their level back to it's like they just regress to the mean. It's not that they're suddenly trying harder. It's just that they're trying what they like. They're just going back to caring a little bit because there's something to fight for. Sorry, Sam. Go on.
No, I want to. Do you know what? When all is said and done, and when we forget about WhatsApp groups and he said, she said, you said, I said, when
yeah, I don't care about. I'm not doing that tonight. I don't give a shit about any of that
mate,
stuff.
You know what? I can't stand all that shit, right?
Yeah.
When all is said and done, this is, without sounding pathetic, this is the most sad I've ever felt as a Spurs fan, as a collective. And what I mean by that is, in my 40 years, I was first taken to the Tottenham in 1984, Sean. Right? I was taken to the stands in 1984. And in that time, I have seen shit managers come and go. I've seen shit players come and go. I've seen shit owners come and go. Shit directors of football. Shit medical teams. This right now is the worst I've ever seen it from a collective of the owners to the CEO, the director of football, the medical team, the manager, and the group of players. This makes me really not upset that, oh my God, I'm going to start crying live on YouTube, but it makes me so upset that this is what our football club has become. And Thomas Frank, yes, must go. But Sean, after Thomas Frank has gone, and once we scrape through to the end of the season, again, this whole club needs a reset.
I agree with all that shit. I agree with all that. Yeah.
Oh, we've brought back Pochettino and every fan has got their knickers wet.
No, that's not going to solve anything.
Being nostalgic. They need a new CEO. They need a director of football like a Ralph Rangnick, a Paul Mitchell that you go, here's the bloody keys to this club. Here's 5 years. Here's £1 billion. Go and sort out this football club. Because right now, I don't give a shit about Frank. They come and go. I don't give a shit about any player in this squad. They can all go. I genuinely don't care. The club is a mess.
But Sam, how do we get through to the end of the season where we're still playing Premiership football next year?
Who are you bringing in? Who are we bringing in?
Well, this is the thing. I'm at the point where I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So it's not for me to figure that out. You'd hope that someone at the football club has a solution, right?
Do you trust them?
No, I don't fucking trust any one of these fucking. I don't trust any of them. But I tell you what. But staying, it's like you're at a fucking. You're on the Titanic and there's iceberg dead ahead and it looks like relegation, right? And you got the captain and he's pissed as a fart. He's pissed as a fart and he's going da, 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 and you're going, mate. If you don't turn left or right, we're going to go down here. We're going to hit that iceberg. And he's like, and someone's going, no, look, just stay with him because there's no other captain on board. At this stage, I genuinely think anyone could put their hand on the wheel and turn it left and avoid that ultimate finale. I don't know who it is, but like if we stick to what we have, we are going headfirst into that iceberg. We're
I
3
agree.
points. I don't know what the score is in the United West Ham
1-0
game.
with 7 minutes.
Still 1-0. Still 1-0.
Okay, yeah. He has to go tonight. He has to go.
Sean, I've not disagreed with you on that. He
I
has
know,
to go.
I know you haven't. Yeah.
My big concern, again, as I always try and tell my show, if we decompartmentalise, Frank has to go. We'll put that in that box over there. My worry is now, are
who
this
comes in?
board capable of going, that's the guy that's going to uplift us? And what happens if you bring in, and we've got to roll the dice, but what if it really is that these players are that shit that a new manager coming in also can't get anything out of them?
Okay. Well, then we're going down. But like right now, Salah, do you think we're going down if we stay with Thomas Frank?
Surely.
If we don't get Kudus back, if we don't get, I'm trying to think who else there is. If we don't get Kudus and Kulu back, yes, I do.
Right.
Frank was crap with Kudos though. Even with Kudos, he looked crap. We used to look crap.
He looked better.
When would we ever look good?
I'm talking about all of them, right? I'm talking about just getting enough goal scorers and creators into that team, because when I look at that team tonight, said these are the worst set of forwards I've ever seen as a collective at Tottenham Hotspur. I'll happily be challenged by anyone. This is the worst as a collective I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you've been saying that for months, right? So I'm not going to.
I've been saying that for 2 years. Sure.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, Odegaard getting that fucking whatever he's done to his knee. Big up to you, Matt. By the way, I'll come to you in a second, mate. Odegaard getting that knee injury tonight. I mean, he was the only person in the first 20 minutes that was our outlet. It's pretty scary. Matt, let me bring you in. So you haven't spoken yet. Big up to you guys. By the way, there's 2,400 people here. It's unbelievable numbers.
Damn.
Obviously, everyone's angry. Don't forget to smash the like and hit the sub. I'll put the links for Football Heritage and everyone else's channels in there in a second. Big up to you, Matt. Listen, I don't really want to spend too much time. We can talk about the game and we can talk about how we get through to the end of the season. I don't want to spend too much time talking about anything other like transfers or ENIC out and that stuff, because that's all just kind of later bollocks. Like for me right now, it's how do we get from here to a position where we are still in the
Premier League next season?
How do we get to Premier League survival? How do we do that? Because right now I am fucking terrified that we're going down.
No, I'm a bit I feel a bit like sad. It's sad, really, isn't it? It's sort of despondent. I don't really know what. I mean, the answer is you just got to kick him out tonight or tomorrow morning, whatever it is. You've got 11 days to sort it out and go and find someone. We need a boost somehow, and I think a new face and a new voice and a new fresh, whatever it will be, it can't be any worse. Because if he's here for Arsenal, it's going to be 4 or 5-0.
Yeah.
I mean, Newcastle played us off the park tonight. I mean, it was
off
embarrassing.
Off the park, Matt. Off the park, to a man. They smashed
that's
us
without
in every
Tonali.
that
That's
game.
without Joe Linton. You know, it's without even a proper striker on the pitch who they brought on, you know, towards the end of the end of the game. You know, to concede what was it, 8 corners in 17 minutes? I mean,
yeah, something like that.
What are we doing?
Against the team who have got an average height about 4 inches bigger than everyone else on our pitch. Right?
And like even the defenders, like he's supposed to be this defensive sort of sounding coach. Like I've never seen. I mean, the goals we conceded, the gaps in the midfield, and then putting Gallagher right wing. Why not bring Muani on and put him right wing? He did it anyway. It just doesn't make any sense. I just think the guy has run out of ideas, and he doesn't. He's a nice bloke, don't get me wrong, but he's not at the level for here, and he needs to go.
What ideas has he shown though? Even like there's run out of ideas. What ideas? He put 2 DMs in to stop the goals going in, and we couldn't score. Then the weird XG thing with shooting outside the box.
Yeah.
Then
and we concede so many goals from outside the box.
Outside the box because then he
another one.
Yeah, and then we're apparently then he makes us hard to beat, so we can't score. Then I saw the signs early. I know every time I watch YouTube, I see Dan and all them lot saying, these are the worst players I've ever seen. These are the worst players I've ever seen. But if that is so, you have to stink the place up then. You have to find a way. We can't just, have Frank say, they gave everything tonight. I'm happy with them. The first 30 minutes, like he says that every game, the first 30 minutes, I was really happy. The players gave everything. I'm happy. Like, I'll guarantee you that's what he's going to say. in the when they interview him after the game. The players gave everything. It was unfortunate. The players gave everything every time.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for Eddie House to finish, and then Thomas Frank's coming in. We're going to listen to this bozo chat his excuses. Is there anyone out there? I mean, we can talk about the game for a second. Did anyone put in any shifts in the over the 90 minutes that were commendable at all? But boy, Danny, sorry, I haven't brought you in yet, Danny. Sorry, mate. Before we get into that stuff, Danny, what's your thoughts, mate? Sorry, but I didn't see you there.
For me, that's right. That's right. For me, I kind of agree with what Savile was saying. To be honest, I don't care what happens with the manager. I've been saying this for a long time now, and people have selective hearing, but I couldn't give a shit who the manager is. I said this when Conte left the football club. I didn't care who the manager was, right? That is by far the worst Tottenham team I have ever seen, right? In 33 years of supporting this football club. Honestly, what I saw today was players, right, who did fuck all. Those players, they don't give a fuck that they're playing for Spurs, right? Do you know why they don't give a fuck? Because if we do go down, which I don't think we will, they're just going to go to another club. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about Spurs. They could not care less. Those players didn't give a single fuck. The only player that gave a shit today was Xavi Simons. He was the only one trying to fight. No one else. Those players have got no heart in it, no care for Tottenham Hotspur.
Xavi Simons looked like he was cooked by the end. He looked like he was
did.
So fed up.
But I just want to say as well, I think Mouani cares about Spurs more than any footballer at Tottenham Hotspurs. I think I can see the passion in his eyes. Like, I really see it. Just wanted to put that out there as well.
Mate, listen, I don't know. Honestly, I'm sitting there. I mean, we can talk about the specifics, right? But for me, should we talk about Thomas Frank starting 11? He didn't have many places to go. Obviously, he did go in a certain direction. Jed Spence he picked rather than Sousa, or he could have played Sousa and Jed Spence on the right-hand side. You know, I've never been so angry with Jed Spence as I was in the first 25 minutes. The geezer looked like he didn't. I don't know if he's not injured, if he's not fit, he shouldn't have been on the pitch. If he was fit and doesn't care, he looks like the sort of person to me that should be playing a solo sport. He should be a tennis player or a golfer or something, because he doesn't have any chemistry, any link up. He has absolutely no concerns. He was arguing with Vicario and with Micky van der Ven in the first 15 minutes over a free kick or over a pass.
Do you know what the worst thing was, Sean, about today? Again, what I saw again today, right? I don't know if you guys see the same thing. It's a team full of individuals playing for themselves. They're not playing for the team, right? Yeah. For me, I've seen that far too many times this season, and I'm sick of these fucking players. I'm absolutely sick of them, right? Which is why I don't expect more than what I'm seeing, because we have got no players in our team that score goals. None whatsoever. We are atrocious. It is, honestly, I've never seen a worse strike force at Tottenham in my life. And we've had some poor strikers in the past as a collective. But this is by far the worst, especially with what's available. It's disgusting. These players don't care that they're playing
first half, Danny. You're in a relegation battle, mate. You're in a fucking relegation battle, and that's how you turn up at home.
Exactly, Sean.
Look at that first half momentum. We had nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
And the start of the second half, they came out strong.
I mean, if you've got any care,
as soon as we scored, that was it. Foot off the gas.
You know what, Sean? If you're a player, right? If you've ever played, anyone's ever played Sunday League, right? If you're a player that's down at the bottom, right, you're going to fight as hard as you can to try and get yourself out of the situation. What I saw today was players that just really don't care. They don't care. They do not care, because they all know that if Spurs are to get relegated, which I don't think they will, that they just get sold. Everyone's going to go. It's going to be a fire sale, like literally a fire sale. There'll be a very few players that will stay at this football club. And that's what they don't give a shit. Look at Romero. Look at what he's done. Look at what the captain of the football club is. That's him leading by example, getting a red card when we're in the dire situation that we're in. It's ridiculous.
Adam, let me ask you, what would you do right now if you were Vinay? And do you have any confidence that he's got the stones to make a decision?
I have no confidence that he's got the stones to make a decision, and I've always had this really horrible feeling in my gut for the fact that he's ex-Arsenal. Honestly, it doesn't sit right with me at all. I think he doesn't have the stones that Daniel Levy had to do to make the tough decisions. Daniel Levy was, he wrecked all of our heads by not making some decisions that were purely based around money. But he had the stones to say whatever he wanted to whoever he wanted, and there's no way that he'd put up with the situation we're in at the moment. And I all I can do is go back to what I said before. I think the only way that we get out of a relegation battle now is a new manager bounce. I don't know who that new manager is, and at this moment I don't care because what options do we have? We've got nothing. There's nothing. So we just need to get rid of this absolute. He is a weed. There's nothing that he has. No balls. He has no spine. He is
Adam, can I ask Adam a question, Sean?
Hang on one second, Danny. Adam, do you subscribe to this notion that you're just like a dog reflects its owner, that a team reflects its manager? Like Arteta is a feisty little shit on the touchline, always in everyone's face. So are Arsenal, right? Eddie Howe is a shithouser. He is, right? And yet his team reflects that.
Jurgen Klopp was an absolute whinge bag. Jurgen Klopp was the biggest whinger in football, and all of it. You look at Virgil van Dijk now. Continues to do the same thing that his daddy did.
Yeah, right. So I'm just saying, do you right now, if you're in a fight, you're in a dog fight, do you want someone that's like a middle manager of a fucking civil service department in the local council, which is what I think fucking Thomas Frank represents? Geezer's got no stones. He couldn't fucking call out Romero. He wanted to shy away from that challenge. He didn't go, no, it's out of order. I said to him before, don't say it again. He said it again. The guy is you know what? He should have been suspended. He should have been dropped for the game, and then we wouldn't have actually lost him for the next 4. Like, to me, Thomas Frank doesn't have the cojones to handle this situation, and I don't think that Vinay does either, Adam.
And he's clueless, and it's not just like he doesn't have the balls. He has no spine, absolutely, but he's also clueless because the amount of times he's been caught out in interviews. Because when he started talking about Romero, saying, "Oh well, he hasn't got that many red cards," then when he was told how many red cards that Romero gets, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that."
96th minute equaliser for Man United.
Thank fuck for that.
Fergie time.
Sesko.
It's not going to save us, lads. It's not going to save us, lads. It's not going to save us. We are absolutely 100% deep into a relegation battle. Like we've got Arsenal next. We've got Arsenal.
Can I just mention something, right? By the way, like when we're talking, just to back up Danny's point, look, and again, whoever the manager is, one thing we really have to sort out is the 4 strikers, forward players that played today. So if we're looking at Tel, Odegaard, Solanke, and Mawani, right? 69 appearances between them in the Premier League, right? 7 GA, right? Now, if you want to add Xavi Simons on top of that, that adds another 20 appearances, which is 89 and 5 GA. So those 5 attacking players that we have got at our disposal have got 12 GA by mid-February. 12 GA. I'm not excusing Frank. Frank needs to go, but how we did not address that in the summer and in then January is absolutely criminal. And I will bang that drum to have to, right? Those players, Tel and Odegaard, maybe in the future will turn into top pros, right? But they shouldn't be starting games for Tottenham Hotspur at this level right now, right? Dominic Solanke, for me, I know he had that 4 in 4, but he's had one good proper season in his career, right? Mawani, when you sign a player on loan the day after their deal to Juventus breaks down, sorry, at what part do you think that he wants to be here? 89 games, 12 GA between that 5. My point is, whoever comes in as manager, who is scoring goals in open play for this football, where are the goals coming from? By the way, there's no assists either. There's no assists.
You could do it.
No assists.
You could do an Arsenal. You could do an Arsenal and just become set piece FC, and that's all you can do. We
are. Every goal we score is a set.
That's the only time. That's the only time we score. Yeah, set pieces.
But do it better. you need Romero.
You don't have. But this is the thing, right? Everyone keeps saying do it better.
Guys, just quickly, sorry, Dan, I don't cut you off, mate. But Thomas Frank says. Let's hear what Thomas Frank says.
Oh my days. Get ready to pull your ears off.
If he says we play well, I'm so done.
I hope I'm not going to.
Hello, Thomas. If you forgive me, I'd like to start at the end. You must have heard the crowd's reaction towards you, boos, and you're getting sacked in the morning. How do you feel when you hear that? Are you just fed up a bit now?
I understand the fans' frustration. We are in a position we don't want to be in. That we're working very hard day and night to change. And I also think it's a situation now the club has been in, it's fair to say, almost 2 years, and ended last season as well. Clearly a pattern that we struggle to manage Europe and Premier League. And that's something me, the team, the club, the players, we need to learn to do even better physically and mentally to deal with that. And part of that, of course, is the 11 injuries, or now 10, plus a suspension, plus another one today, which of course doesn't help in a situation like that. And then we face, yes, a Newcastle team that is, I can say, struggling a little bit lately. But if you look at the team they put on the pitch compared to what they've done the last 3 years, I think it's fair to say it's quite different to us. I think Newcastle were more on top first half. I think we came back in it very well. And then I think it was a little bit symbolic for a season that we had a transition going one way, and then we missed past it, and then went the other way, and we defended badly for the 2-1 goal.
It could have been bad enough. Could have been even worse. I think Manchester United at the London Stadium equalised with one of the last kicks of the match. So West Ham gain a point on you in that battle for you to stay well clear of the relegation zone. Obviously, I think you go down another place below Leeds. There's now 12 games before the best team in England come here. 12 days before the best team in England come here. Will you still be in charge for the Arsenal game, do you think?
Yeah, I'm convinced there will be. We all, and I think I understand the question. I understand it's easy to point on me, but I also think it's never only the head coach, or the ownership, or the directors, or the players, or the staff. Is everyone. If you do something right, you will build something that can last. Of course, we are not in a top position now. Everyone knows, directors, ownership, myself, what position we are in and what we need to improve and what we need to do better. And that's what we're working very hard on.
But they can hear the boos, they can hear the reaction of the crowd as well.
I guess so, yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
I wanted to do a Conte. Just explode on the ball.
Never going to happen.
Eddie Howe's just been in here. He knows what it's like to have gone down with Bournemouth, and he talked about how injuries can play a massive part. The thing that you just talked about. How much do the hierarchy understand all of those points from your perspective?
Of course, they understand that. I think everyone can see that you can just put the 11 players that's out in a lineup, and then you can compare the two teams, and then you guys can judge which player is out. So of course that affects things, but it's my job to how can you say, do everything we can to find solutions with the players available.
Eddie also talked about needing in these difficult times players to give everything for you, to be there when the chips are down. Do you feel like your players are giving you everything at the moment?
Yeah, no, if you see them out there, I think they're running very, very hard.
Oh, fuck.
I think it's tough for them.
That's bullshit.
It is tough. Hey, football and life is tough at times. It's just the way it is. And when you have things going against you, you need to show resilience. You need to show your true color. And we are definitely tested to show that.
And just lastly, another injury to Wilson Odobert. It looked a nasty one. I mean, did you have any update of what that situation is with Wilson?
No, not yet. I hope it's nothing too serious, but I don't know. I don't know what it can be. Of course, I hope there's not a serious injury to a 20-year-old young player.
Hi, Thomas. You mentioned about Newcastle coming here kind of low in confidence. It seems like it's a theme, though, that clubs come here on a poor run, they're low in confidence, and they kind of turn it around here. Why do you think that is?
I think if you take, maybe there's a theme. I think we've lost definitely too many games at home. That's no doubt about that. We see a Newcastle team, a very experienced Newcastle team. There's been in various situations, so they also know how to get out of a situation like this, or whatever the situation they were in. But again, I think they were more on top first half. We're coming back, equalizing 1-1, and that stage is an open game, and that's where we need to understand. And there we can't. Yes, we need to go do everything we can to win, but we can't concede a goal like concede a goal.
Yeah, obviously injuries have to be taken into account, but with the attacking play, I mean, 2 shots on target, relying on a set-piece goal again. I mean, how disappointing is it that it doesn't seem to be attacking patterns of play and things like that?
I think they just need to be massively taken into consideration. I haven't really said it too much, but I think everyone can see that impacting things.
Just the last one on Paulinho not starting the game but coming on at half-time. What was the reasoning behind him not starting?
I think you take decisions sometimes, but he did very well when he came on. No doubt about that.
So tactical, please.
Hi, Thomas. How convinced are you that you are the man? You said there you're convinced you'll be in charge for the Arsenal game, but how convinced are you within yourself that you are the right man? Is there any doubt whatsoever? Do you still have that belief within you?
1,000% sure. I'm also 1,000% sure that I never expected us to be in a situation like this, with 11, 12 injuries on the back end of this and what we have been facing. But I know when you need to build something and you need to get through things, you need to show unbelievable strong resilience. I think it's fair to say there's a few before me up here, not only for Tottenham, but in many other clubs that have lost their head many times. And I think you need to have a calm head, carry on, keep fighting, keep doing the right thing, make sure we stick together, because you can only get through this together. And that's the board, that's the leaders, that's the players, that's the staff, that's me, that's the fans. We only get through this together.
Matt, please.
Thomas, I totally accept that it's not one man, and what you say about it being a variety of different things and different people, and also the injuries. But do you accept that if the club continue to get closer to the relegation zone, they're going to be forced to do something? And with the greatest respect, the manager's the only thing they can change at this point of the season.
I understand the mechanism in football, no doubt about that. But I also think there's a lot of studies that it's not necessarily the right thing to do. I know it's the only movement they have, but there's also plenty of situations where it's not the right thing to do. And the only thing I'll focus on is fighting, do the right thing together with everyone else.
Is there any sense of panic about relegation around the club or the squad?
There is. We, of course, understand we're not in a good situation. But with everything in life, you need to stay calm, keep doing it, and keep going.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Wow. Wow.
Spineless, gutless, fraud. What a joke.
Any takeaways there, Trump? What are you doing, mate? Today's not the day, Danny.
Yeah, we got to make Tottenham great again.
Danny, come on. Today's not the day, mate. Today's not the day. We're in a bad mood, mate. We're in a bad mood. Listen. I mean, what did he say there? He said we need to remain calm. Need to remain calm, right? Maybe the fact that you're calm all the time is part of the problem.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Maybe
there's no fire under them.
With a bit of fucking energy, a bit of fire. Does anyone feel sorry for him a little bit? Does anyone feel sorry for him?
Yeah, I want him to be put out of his misery. You see him on the touchline, he's just doing this, and he's just looking down sort of at the floor. Just put the poor bloke out of his misery. He looks like he's aged about 15 years.
I've seen that from the last 5 managers at Spurs, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, but I mean, Conte, obviously he had his tough run with his friends dying and things like that. So, I mean, that he had a really tough gig, to be fair. I mean,
I feel like I'm not going to feel right now, though, Matt.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I can't
what
feel too
terrifies
sorry for him.
me.
He's on 8 million a year, guys. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't feel sorry. 100%. That guy, if he gets sacked tomorrow or not, he's going home and having an absolute laugh on a big pile of cash. For me, the thing that worried me the most about what he said was how the only thing that he at all seemed confident about whatsoever was the fact that he was still going to have a job in the morning. That was the only thing that he, in any way.
Yeah. That's
terrifying. That's terrifying.
Exactly, Dan, Adam. Exactly. The only confident answer he gave was about his future.
Yeah, and that's depressing. Like, how does he have that much assurance? Sorry, Savin.
No, son, I feel sorry for him from the point of view that he's not once ever had a fully fit squad to pick from. I don't feel sorry for him from the point of view that he's not finding anything new to assure fans of what he's doing. I'm very different to other people. I do genuinely think the squad is shit. So I'm not expecting loads, right? I've said this for a long time. I'm not expecting loads. I hate that somebody at this football club has signed off on all of these players. I feel like this goes so deep. What I do think is that I think he will get a bit more sympathy from fans when he's gone and when we realize how badly this club has been run. And you're seeing it now. Look how many people that absolutely despised Ange now say things like, oh, well, he wasn't that bad, was he? And blah, blah. We're going to do it again with another manager.
Yep.
For me, he can come and go. Don't give a shit.
Ange is out of a job. Ange is out of a job, Sava. Would you take him back for the last 12 games?
No, for a bloody good reason. He's out of a job. Right? And the problem...
Ange will relegate us.
Yeah,
I agree.
The problem that we've got is we will only realize just how bad this squad has been put together and how
until he has gone,
how unbalanced it is and how few options we've got when he goes. That doesn't mean he shouldn't go. So people need to listen to what I'm saying. That doesn't mean he doesn't need to go. But you know, we need someone to come in, put a plaster over whatever. This club needs triple bypass surgery, right? And at the moment, all we keep doing is giving it a few paracetamols and going, go on, somebody else try. And
I love
unfortunately,
that. Great analogy.
Unfortunately, what we're seeing at the moment is Kane and Son. How much did they paper over cracks for years and years and years and years? Because even this shit team now, if it had Kane and Son in their peak, wouldn't be anywhere near the bottom half of the table because those two will have had 30 goals between them.
That's so true.
Sav, let me ask you this. Sav, I know I said at the start I don't want to talk about the owners and stuff. And I don't want to get into I don't want to get into a bigger conversation about the owners, but I do want to ask the question because obviously Vinay is or Charrington or whoever it is. They were both at the game tonight. Don't know if the Lewises were. In terms of like making the tough decision right now.
Sure.
If Daniel Levy was still in charge, would Thomas Frank be still in charge?
1,000,000%.
The only anomaly to that, yes, history dictates yes. The only anomaly to that was last season, but you get the feeling that Daniel Levy didn't make that decision because it was all going to change in the summer. Absolutely. I would say this, for me to have any faith now in Vinay, right? And I'm guessing it's Vinay making the decisions. Who knows with this bloody football club anymore, right? Show us you can make a tough decision because you showed us in the summer. You ballsed up the summer, right? You ballsed up the director of football situation. You've ballsed up January. Now you're at a juncture again where this is a massive moment. You have got to sack this guy. And you know why? It's on the 5th of January, Sean, put a video out. I know I sound like box office now. Put a video out on the 5th of January. And I said, I don't care if you sack the manager, but you've got to sack him or back him. And they did neither. And you now leave yourself in this kind of halfway house now where if you sack him, the new manager comes in and goes, shit, where are my goals? Shit, where's my fullbacks? Shit, where's the ball playing midfielder? And now that manager, I feel sorry for the next victim. I do. That's the only reason I feel sorry for them.
But hopefully you can fix that stuff in the summer. Hopefully in the summer there can be the open heart surgery.
I've heard that for 20 years.
Sure.
I hear you.
I honestly believe.
I hear you on that, Sava, right? But I'm not saying that you go and try and hire a 4-year contract manager tomorrow. I'm saying Like
Yeah.
you kick that can until the summer, and then you do that in conjunction with, with a plan and strategy, and hopefully.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just saying, like we are. I thought we were going to be 3 points off the drop zone. We're 5 points off the drop zone. Big up to you, Lubo. Good to see you. I'm just saying, like right now, even if Daniel Levy didn't have the solution, would Thomas Frank still be in a job? And the fact that Thomas Frank has just spoken and said, "Yeah, I'm absolutely certain, as far as I'm aware, that I'll be manager," or whatever he said, like paraphrasing. To me, I'm sitting there thinking,
because they don't have a plan, Sean. Sean,
This is exactly
they
why,
don't have a
Saba.
plan. We can all sit here tonight and go, right, sack him tomorrow, and I'm saying that with you all.
Yeah.
But right now, I asked this at the beginning of the show: who trusts Vinay and Lang to go? That's the guy that's going to sort us out. And when people say anybody is better, sorry, you can't be bringing in Ryan Masons.
No,
you can't be bringing in people that aren't experienced in this scenario. So who trusts them? I don't trust them. I don't trust them in any way, shape, or form to get any decision
This
right.
is why, Saba. This is why I think they'll stick with Frank, because I honestly believe if there's not any interim manager right now who's going to come into this shit show and do better, right? I think Frank will keep us up. I honestly don't think we're going to go down, right? Even with everything going on at the football club. But I can't trust them to sack Frank and bring in an interim manager who's going to do better than what we've got right now. Honestly, no, I think we'll do worse. I actually think we'll do worse if another manager comes in. Honestly, believe that.
You want him to stay? You want him to stay right now, Danny?
Sean, I don't think there's another option there, because this club didn't bring in the players.
United and got three.
Let's not talk about Carrick. Carrick's got Bruno Fernandes and Buemo. He's got all these top fucking players that are playing up front. Cunha. He's got the best creator in the Premier League, right?
Danny,
Let's not go there. Let's not go there with Michael Carrick.
Danny, this is 2 wins. Sorry, this is 2 wins in 17. You can't do nothing.
What do you want the club to do, Lubo?
Danny, stop. Danny,
Sorry.
1 second, one at a time.
Frank has got to go. Frank has got to go tonight.
Okay, and then what?
Tonight.
Figure that out tomorrow. Figure that out tomorrow. You've got 13 days or whatever it is until the next
Absolutely.
game.
The same
Absolutely,
board.
but he has got to go tonight. The players don't respect him. I'm sorry. There's nothing going. It's going downhill at the rate of knots.
And they didn't respect Ange. So who's the manager they're going to respect coming in? Because that's Lubo. I agree with you, by the way. I agree with you. He needs to go. But that is now 17th. We're now 16th, right? When we talk about players respecting managers, at what stage are we going to turn around and go, hang on, right? Who are these shocking players that think they're too good to stop respecting any manager?
There is.
Look at what Romero's done. The last 4 managers.
People are saying Sherwood.
I was saying this in the car.
I'd take Sherwood. I would take Sherwood.
Definitely.
He's the only player I'd actually
Danny, you just flip flopped in the space of 3 minutes because I've thrown one word out there.
No.
Literally
one word. Why, Sean? Do you know why?
That'll do.
No. You know why? I said it before. Because Sherwood won't take shit from these players. He will give it to them like they should be, like Frank's probably not doing, right? The way Sherwood is, he's a no-nonsense person. He don't give a shit who you are. He will tell them to your face. He'll tell you fuck off. That's what I like about Sherwood.
I think a lot of managers would do that, though. I think Frank is a bit of a calm. You've just said it there, Danny. He doesn't bollock anyone. There's no repercussions. He doesn't inspire me. He can't inspire that team. You see it on the pitch. I just think you need. Well, I mean, he inspired them for that. He inspired them for the final, mate, and they went out and won it. It doesn't matter how they won it.
Romero won it, not Ange.
Yeah, the players won it. I agree.
This is where the individualism for me is very, very important, right? Listen, and just to reiterate, because I know people in your chat are going, Sava's backing Frank. I don't know how many times Sean I can say, sack Frank, right? My problem is not sacking Frank. My problem is we keep saying these players don't respect anyone. Is anyone going to put anything on these players that have now finished 17th? Now they are 16th. At what stage, right? Some of these players as well were the ones that down tools for Conte. A lot of these didn't respect Nuno. At any stage, are we allowed to turn around and go, maybe, just maybe, these players that get defended week in, week out aren't good enough or don't have the right mentality to be at Tottenham Hotspur.
Well, this is it. There's a toxic dressing room. But first of all, before you clear that out, we've got to make sure we stay up. I don't care how
you've got to get over the line, haven't you, Lugo? Got to just scrape through.
We've got to dig out enough results just to stay up, and then in the summer,
who is it?
Well, that's the question. But listen,
yeah.
Lugo, so sorry, Lugo, sorry. I want to come back to you in just a second. Let you have your rant. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. There's 18 super chats, and I haven't done them for since the show started. So can you just give me 2 seconds? Be up to you, Hugo. Hi, Jasper. Nice to see you, mate. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Big up to everyone. Sniffer is given Newcastle United, mate. Congratulations, buddy. You did it tonight, mate. You smashed us. You were saying in the chat earlier on Football Inc. that you thought, and all of your Newcastle fans that we were chatting to were saying that you thought we were going to smash you or beat you. Told you you wouldn't, mate. Mental. Told you we wouldn't. Absolutely mental. You guys absolutely cleaned us up. Big up to you, mate. Thank you for the super chat. A user says, play this to Enoch. Mary J. Blige. I'm going down. I'm going down. And that's the song. Big up to you, AUs. Thank you very much. Marek N says, it's not a fan's job to find a manager who can turn this around. These clowns in charge get paid to do it. Yeah, of course, 100%.
Great.
Do we trust them to do it?
Trust them to do it.
Yeah. They didn't do anything in the January window. They didn't do anything to support us. So why are they going to get us support us with a different manager who's going to keep 100%. Us up?
Big up to you, Marek. Appreciate you, mate. Thank you very much. Very generous, my man. Appreciate you. Totspurs63 says, on the plus side, the 77-78 season was a riot, but Arsenal didn't win the league when we went down. Nothing more to say. Was that the year that was that the year that the guy Birkinshaw took us down and took us back up, and then we won the cup the next year, didn't we, or something?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up to you, Totspurs. I don't know enough about history to go that far back, but thank you very much. TFC699 says, Redknapp till the summer. I mean, the guy's been out of football for 10 years, mate. I don't think he's, I don't know. I don't think he could do the journey every day. He'd be falling asleep on the training ground, would he, at 80 years old? Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much. Rob Brown's putting a super sticker. Big up to you, Rob. You are the first one with the choo-choo, the super sticker. Somebody did the choo-choo noise, mate. Thank you very much. Indeed, buddy. Choo-choo to you. Trek14 says Frank is scared to coach Xavi to stop diving. Yeah, by the way, we haven't spoken about that. 2 yellow cards tonight for diving. Both of them unnecessary. Absolutely mental.
Come on, we've seen loads of players dive at Spurs. That's just their nature.
It's ridiculous. Both of them are unnecessary. The one that Xavi did, he was away. He'd beaten Trippier and he dived anyway. Fucking idiot. Big up to you, Jushin. He says Levy made good decisions and poor decisions, but one way or another, he made them. This current board are too scared to even make them. Lubo,
and it's Jeff's kid at half time turned around and said, "Whatever you think of Levy, he'd have sacked. He'd have panicked 6 weeks ago and sacked Frank."
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
He didn't last year.
That's a reasonable answer. It's a reasonable answer. He didn't last year, Sava. You're right. Big up to you, Jushin. Thank you very much. Super Spurs. Big up to you, Blaney. He says pastries beyond their sell-by date get binned. The Danish pastries, especially, as Hugo would like to say. Big up to you, Hugo. So should this stale excuse, I'll be binning my ticket if he's kept. Wasting nothing more. Big up, guys. Blaine, did you come today? Or is your first game going to be the Arsenal game? You haven't been to a game yet since you bought your season ticket, you poor bastard. Buyer's remorse from the greatest salesman or the greatest sales manager in the game. Big up to you, Blaine. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate you, bro. I'll see you next week or 2 weeks' time for the Arsenal game. The Bear Knows, my man from Woking, I think he is. He says, watch his interview after the game. He's delusional. I haven't seen it, obviously. I've heard about it. People in the chat can see saying it was absolutely terrible. Thank you very much, mate. The Bear's Cave, sorry. He's my Woking, my friend. Big up to you, Woking, mate. Super Spurs, super sticker, £2. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate you. Laurie Boost says the board's plan is to see Heitinger was brought in case the trigger needs to be pulled. He will be interim manager until the end of the season. I take it right now. I don't know anything about Johnny Heitinger, to be honest. I know Stell says he's a terrible coach. I've got no idea if that's right or wrong. I honestly don't know, but maybe that's the solution. Big up to you, Laurie. Thank you very much indeed. A user says Spurs dump Deadwood, then re-sign it. I give up. Who? I don't know what that's about. Who have we re-signed? Does anyone know what that's about? I'm not sure. Big up to you, A user. Thank you, mate. Appreciate you. Tot Spurs with a super sticker. Choo-choo to you, mate. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. Really appreciate you. Andy Lester says, I think they won't sack him purely for finance. Mate, if finance is what they're worried about right now, then the financial consequences of sticking with him is a massive hit, a bigger hit than anything about sacking him would be, in my opinion. I think If we stick with him, I think we're going down. The Bear Nose come back in again, says, watch his pitch side interview. It's even worse. Again, sorry, mate, I haven't seen it, so I don't know, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bears Cave said, if we stay up, it's down to West Ham, not Frank. Yeah, well, I think that's what the club might think, actually. I think that's what the club might think. Don't worry, they're just not that good, so we'll be fine. Big fucking, that's playing Russian roulette with your future. It's crazy. Big up to you, mate. Rob Brown says, why not Solskjaer until the end of the season? We'll talk about that in just a second, actually, because I know Lubo was going to answer Saba's question. Big up to you, mate. Thank you, Rob. And Spurs OC, my man from Orange County, America. Big up to you, mate. He says, my bet is injuries are related to the home surface. Maybe, mate. I mean, that one today was clearly he stuck his leg into the ground a little bit different. It was an awkward one. Big up to you. Thank you very much indeed. Lubo, I know you were just going to speak before I interrupted you. Would you take Solskjaer?
I think I prefer Sherwood.
Sherwood, yeah?
I think I prefer Sherwood, yeah.
Okay.
Redknapp, the funny is, my son read on Twitter this evening that Redknapp's wife isn't well. So I don't know how true that is, whether that's rubbish, nonsense on Twitter, or whether it's true. Sincerely hope for him his wife is okay. But if his wife isn't, then obviously there's no chance of Harry coming back into football. Hoddle's had heart, he nearly died. I don't see Hoddle coming back onto the training ground. I think we're probably looking at somebody with a Spurs connection, Sherwood. But I've got to say, and I've re-looked at the first part of Poch's interview with Jake Humphries, and I don't think it helped particularly. And if he cares that much about the club, then bloody come back now and help us get out of this mess.
Who to come back now?
I think Pochettino loves the club that much.
Oh, shut up, mate. Come on
He
now.
can't, Lubo. He's got to prepare for the USA World Cup.
Come on, Lubo. What are we doing here? That's insane.
Then he shouldn't be talking this soon. He shouldn't be talking at this stage of the season. Staying with the States till the World Cup. I understand that, but he shouldn't be having this interview with Jake Humphries.
But Lubo, in every single one of Poch's jobs, he started poorly and built into the job. He's got no experience of picking up a mess and sorting it out with 12 games to go in a season, right? This is why this next manager that comes in needs to be someone that's been in this scenario before. Poch love, you're thinking of the Poch that had a year to make Spurs into what he made them.
Yeah.
Not picking up this shit show with.
But Saba, you're forgetting the most important thing, that we've got 12 outfield players fit and available. Senior pros.
But Danny, look at his team selection today. He didn't have too many options, but he made a very defensive selection, didn't he? Very.
Yeah. By the way, he said that Polinia for Bissouma was not. He said it was just a decision.
Well, it was the wrong decision. I mean, it was a shocking decision.
It was a shocker.
Absolutely shocking decision. Tonight for me, the first half was a new low this season.
Oh, it was the worst. It was the worst first half. I
I
understand it if it was against Bayern Munich, but it was against Newcastle, and they've only won 2 games before tonight away from home this season.
Yeah, that was
and also a Newcastle United that were without their 2 best midfielders, or two of the 3 best midfielders.
Tonali was on the bench, and Joe Linton was out injured.
Imagine if they were on, they'd have been 2-3-0 up. Let me bring Hugo in. Big up to you, Hugo. How you feeling, my man? Big up to you, Jasper, as well in the background. I see you, buddy. You're making your debut on the show this week. You can come and say a little bit now if you want, but I'll definitely see you this week. Go on, Hugo.
Mate, I've just about got the black armband on at this stage. Honestly, mate, I'm in mourning. Honestly, I'm not sure, like, the state of the club. It's mate, it just feels like we're being sucked into a black hole. You know, it just honestly, like, every single week between the injuries and Thomas Frank just making more stupid decisions, it honestly just looks like we're trying to, we can't get out of our own way. We're trying to hinder ourselves. The tactics are evidently abysmal. Like, he gets paid $8 million a year. I don't care if he's got same thing as with Ange to some extent. in that, like we've only got however many, 11, 12 players fit, right? At least change your tactics to try and get a bit more out of what you do have. Stop just using the same defensive drudgery, game in, game out. It's knocking any kind of
clearances in the first half an hour of the game.
Mate, there were
clearances. That means you win the ball back and you just fucking smash it long, Hugo.
Yeah.
Smash it out.
Mate, it was like, how many corners? That must be a new record in the Premiership, in the Premier League this season, I would think, is in one half of football, a team to have conceded 8 corners. Can I
ask you?
Nine.
I'll let you go first. Sorry, Lubo.
There was 9, was it, Lubo?
9 corners.
And was it a record for a half in football this season?
It was 9 against 0 in the first half.
Yeah, I just like at this juncture, I haven't made any, I haven't kept quiet about my feelings on Frank, because I think it's abundantly clear to, unless someone, even someone that knew nothing about football, I would think at this stage would think, do you know what, the guy might not necessarily be the answer. I'm like, how do you?
Let me ask this, guys. Right, Hugo, I'll let you go first, but I want to get everyone else's take as well. I want to be batting. Is there any rationale? I see people in the chat saying Klinsmann, Sherwood, all these sorts of names, right? Not as full time, just to get us through a muddle. Is there any experience in a relegation battle with any of those managers? And I see people saying Big Sam. Like, what would happen if Tottenham went and picked a manager that is more experienced at getting you through a relegation scrap? Like a Big Sam, not necessarily a big Sam, but like a Gary O'Neill. So I know he's in work already, but just, is there any rationale at all to go and get a temp manager to come in for the next 6 months, pay the guy a few million, whatever, and say, but then if Tottenham fans were to be dosed up tomorrow morning, I'm not saying Big Sam Allardyce, but just someone like him that's more used to that sort of stuff, how would that be met by the Tottenham fans?
What about hiring a relegation specialist?
Yeah, a relegation specialist. Yeah.
I would hope most people would embrace it, warmly compared to the lemon we got in charge at the moment.
So for the corners,
we're not on that, man.
Okay, well, the most corners in the first half is 7 corners. So yes, we have.
We set a new record. There you go. This season.
Well done, Jasper. Well done, Jasper.
Yeah.
Jasper AI.
Yeah. So there you go. New record we set there too. But yeah, I think literally, I don't think there could any fan that can genuinely come up with a good reason why Thomas Frank should stay in the job is either delusional or just fucking stupid.
I'll give you a reason, because there's no other option.
No, Danny, you keep on saying that and you never provide the answer.
I don't want to see anyone go. Danny, you said I want Thomas Frank to stay because there's nowhere else to go. And then I said, what about Tim Sherwood? And you went, I shall take Tim Sherwood. You flip-flopped in 30 seconds.
No. Tim Sherwood would be... I'm not saying he's going to do a better job. I'm just saying if they're going to sack him, then why not Tim Sherwood? I'm not sitting here saying that he's going to do better.
I would take Tim Sherwood. I think Tim Sherwood could come in and do a little jig for us, I think.
Let me simplify it. When we beat Everton 3-0 October 25th, we were 3rd. We've dropped from 3rd down, we're 16th. At what point do they actually stop and say, hey, hang on a sec. This is disastrous. We've gone from
third
to
you know
16th.
But Lubo, let me ask you a question.
People are not putting. People are not.
They're not listening. They're not listening.
Conversation.
No.
Frank. Yes. Who next? And it can't. The answer can't just be anybody, because Hugo can say. Sorry, Hugo. Hugo can say anybody better than this lemon. But
no, I said, whoa, no, that's not true. I said anyone that's a relegation specialist would be better than this lemon.
Okay, sure. So who's
We've
the
bought
rest
11
of
fit
the
players. Yeah.
specialist?
Okay.
I'm
Doesn't
all for
matter,
sacking him.
Danny, if you can
Okay,
get
Lubo. We've got no goal scorers. We've got no goal scorers, but yeah, anyone can do better. Okay.
No, you've got to bring someone who will get more out of these players.
Who's
Can
going
I
to
ask
get
you a
more out of these
question
players,
then,
Lubo?
Do you
Can I ask
think?
one-
Look at that first half. Do you think that there was no pressing, there was no closing down? It was so
That's on the
lackadaisical.
players.
Can I ask a
That's on the
question?
players.
Lubo, let
was
me ask you a
like-
question. Just want to play hypotheticals here, right? Something I hear all the time as a throwaway comment from fans is you've got to be getting more out of XYZ player. But for the forwards that Tottenham have got, can you please show me where in their careers they've had more dragged out of them than what you're seeing now? Tel and Odegaard have never been goal scorers or creators really in their careers. Kolo Muani doesn't want to be here. I think that's very obvious. Dominic Solanke
He
has
loves
had a
Spurs.
very average football career, if we're going to be brutally honest. So I don't disagree with you, but I'm just wondering, when people say this, where have they seen from these players that they get more out of them? Where? That's all I'm asking.
Okay,
Fantasy.
Well, let's take tonight.
Fantasy.
Just
It's
an
No,
hope.
not tonight. No, that's not what I'm asking.
Hang
It's
on.
hope.
I'm just giving you an example. If
Not
you've got
tonight.
a manager that has players that are going to snap into tackles, close down the space,
Which we don't have.
hang on, no,
Finish, Danny. Yeah.
we was it Trippier floated the ball in for the first goal? The header Vic saved, and then Sarr's sitting having a dream while Tel put it in.
Yeah.
The second goal, again, I mean, that was down to Gallagher. What on earth was he doing with that pass? We were like 3-on-3.
Sure, but you're not answering
Is
my
it-
question about the
Yeah, you're
forwards.
not answering the question, Lubo.
You've gone off
And
on a
then,
tangent.
and then
about
hang on,
something
and
completely
then we
different.
gave them space. We're not closing down. We're not.
So Lubo, how did we play
Hang on,
better
Danny,
against
hang
Man
on.
City?
I'd like to get an answer to my
Go on,
question.
go on, go on,
I'd
go
like to get an answer to the question I asked, not what you thought I asked. Right? As I said, hypothetically, can you?
Yeah.
I'm asking about the forwards, as I've said, because
It's
everyone in
not
the chat
just the
won't listen.
forwards, Trav. It's not just the forwards, because if they
Lubo,
defend
let me-
properly
can I-
tonight, we
hang
win
on,
1-0.
Can I, Lubo? But to win games, you need goals. And Tottenham, as I said, you weren't here at the time. From 89 Premier League appearances, the front five that played tonight have 12 GA, Lubo. Then you look at Odegaard's GA and Tel's GA last year is shit as well, right? So I'm asking you, I'm not disagreeing that he has to go, by the way. I know people can't compartmentalize, but I'm asking you, where are these forwards that are going to grab goals that apparently we're not getting the best out of now?
So you've
Does
got
it
to
just
go
need
and
to be
nick
the forwards
1-0
that score?
wins. You've got to
We're
nick
at a
1-0
stage where
wins.
anyone needs to score.
Wait, one person.
That's
Lubo.
sorry, yeah, 1 second. Go on,
Sorry,
Lubo.
yeah.
Finish your point, Lubo. Go on.
You've got to win. So if we'd have done our job defensively, we'd have stolen a 1-0 win, and that's good enough. So it doesn't matter. You score one goal. If you don't concede,
Sure, but
you get the 3
we're
points.
not good
scoring,
enough to keep
Lubo.
a clean sheet, Lubo. You've got to, first of all, you've got to get the goal. And second of all, this team is not good enough. We don't have the defenders good enough to keep clean sheets at the moment. We've got Gray at right back, Spence at left back, Dragashin at centre. Like,
Who's our top scorers, Lubo?
I agree with you, Lubo, your theory. But all I'm asking is, and I know everyone goes mad because they think it's sticking up for Frank. It's not. I'm just asking which forwards, because they're the ones that score goals, is a new manager coming in and we're suddenly going to go, oh my God, look at that guy. He scores goals all of a sudden and he's really creative. Because that's not their game.
Yeah, but is there a chance that under a new tactic, a new vision, that you're going to release players in certain different ways?
But that's what I asked at the beginning, Sean. So where have we seen that with those players anywhere else? We've not seen it. Other than
Well,
Dominic,
I think the only one we have seen it is Kolo Muani, like anywhere else apart from Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, but if you actually look
In
at
other
Kolo
leagues.
Muani's career,
Yeah.
he's very hot and cold, right? And he didn't want to be here. We talked about this on the last day of the window. That he didn't want to be here, did he?
I got a feeling that if there was a new manager would come in, you'd see a different version of Mathys Tel, one that's like super inspired. I know you don't rate him, and maybe it's all reasonable to not rate him, or whatever. But I'm just saying, look, maybe it's not on the individual level, Saba. Maybe it's just on the team level. I just think there will be a lift. I think that the new manager bounce.
Sean, I don't doubt that. I just worry that there's. Listen, and as I said to back myself a little bit, I called this in the summer. Right. And I said, my worry this season is there are not goals in this football squad, right? Without Kulu, without Maddison, there are not goals in this squad. And all throughout this season, you saw tonight how many shots these players take that are weak, effortless, like off target. I'm not saying he doesn't need to go. Sack him, sure. But this notion of just bring people in and we'll win 1-0 every week. Where's that? These players we've won something like 20 of our last 70 games. Why can't we ever admit that these players are not good enough, or like we can't?
No, listen, Sad, no, you're right. You're obviously right. You are right on that.
That's right.
The players aren't definitely not good enough. And I say, with the effort that's being, the combination of effort and talent equals where we are. It is where
Sava,
we are.
Is there someone, Danny, Sava, who you both have roughly the same vision on, what to do with Frank? Is there someone that you could, both of you, say sign off on to bring in that you feel would be an upgrade on Frank on an interim basis?
Danny's already said Sherwood.
If they were going to sack Frank, I wouldn't mind if it was Sherwood, just to see what he could do. But I don't know if he's good. I honestly believe that there's no one right now that's going to upturn what's going on at this club at the moment, just because of how bad it is in terms of everything going on at the club, just absolutely everything internally with the players, the captain, everything, the injuries, all of it. I just can't see someone coming in and rejuvenating these players, especially with the fact that we've still got to compete in the Champions League. And we've got 11 players fit. It's like these players can't do it. Like I haven't seen these players on a regular basis produce what we want to see. I've seen it in halves. I've seen it in moments. Look at what this pretty much same team did what they did against Man City. Why can they not do that every single game? Because they're not good enough to do it every single game. And because we're limited in the players we have available, right? They can't play that way, that intensity, for 90 minutes every game, because we are stripped to the bare bones. Why is it that Arsenal
we can all agree on that, right? But they're not doing it the way what we are familiar with. What we can all agree on right now is under Thomas Frank, they are not doing it.
Agreed.
So, right, that's it. So if we can agree on that, then the next question is, under someone else, will they continue to not do it? Maybe. Yeah. Possibly, probably. Or will they maybe raise their game 15, 20% individually or as a team to be able to get a better outcome? Because I think that if we carry on with what we have under the management we have it, then it's a fait accompli, in my opinion. Matt, let me put Matt. You've been very quiet for a long time. So sorry, Luba, let me just bring Matt in because he hasn't said a word in about 40 minutes. Well, Matt, do you think that the players capable of lifting their game under any particular manager for an interim purpose to get us out of this shit show? In the summer, we can rebuild everything. We'd start all that conversation again. But right now, there's no point in talking about the summer because we don't know what we're doing next year yet.
Well, I mean, I'm sure of some. I'm not sure who, obviously, but I'm sure there will be someone on an interim basis that could get 5 or 6% or 10% more out of, a couple of these players. I mean, is it the fact we play these first halves because he likes to play like a bit of a cagey first half, keep it tight, and then maybe go for him, in that sort of second half? Or is the other view that the players think, fuck this guy's tactics, this ain't working, we're just going to go and play with a bit more freedom and that attacking, sort of element, which they have done in the past as well. Under Conte, we were sort of a one-half team as well. I seem to remember, loads of times we would come out in the second half, but like Sava said, we'd have Kane and Son who would drag us out of a lot of situations. I still think I think I agree with you, Sean. I still think there's a player in Tel. I think the way he's been treated hasn't helped, and maybe a different coach puts a bit more arm around the shoulders and a bit more confidence into these players. Actually, say you are good enough. You are a better team than you're showing in that table. Maybe just a new voice will just help. I mean, if anything, I think it will help the fans in the stadium. I mean, I'm sure no one. I mean, if he's going to be here for that Arsenal game, I mean, it could be half empty, or it will be a really toxic atmosphere. I mean, if you think how Newcastle played tonight, if we give Arsenal that space and they've got much better players, they could easily. It could be one of the. I don't know what the highest defeat in North London derby history is.
Oh, let's
but
not do that. Let's not do that. For
you-
fuck's sake. Let's
you
not go in
know.
that conversation. Yeah.
It's
No,
the way Newcastle played tonight.
Because we go. Do you think that these players are capable of showing enough to get us out? And if you think that they're not under Thomas Frank, then you're in support of sacking Thomas Frank. And then over the next 2 weeks, figuring out whatever it is, how many days.
I think they are under Thomas Frank. That's my opinion.
What did you say, Danny? I didn't.
I think they are capable under Thomas Frank. I think we can get enough points to not get relegated.
Under Thomas Frank?
Yes.
I personally think after that first half that I just don't think they're having him. And
I think the players are crying out for him to get sacked, personally.
Yeah, but you could even see on the bench, Sean, you had Romero sitting there with Maddison and Richalison. They were laughing and had their heads down at certain points of the game. You just looked pissed off.
They don't want to hear whatever the fucking pigeon English he has to offer. They don't want to hear it anymore. You can see they don't fucking want it.
I don't think they want to put any manager
He doesn't have the ability to inspire. He's useless, mate. He can fuck off back to a mid-level team and do whatever there.
Hugo, can I just, when people say fuck off to a mid-level team, I hate to break it to you, that mid-level team that you
I know it is us.
They're above us. They're above us.
Yeah, but we have to lose the grandeur here at Spurs.
Hang on. That mid-level team that you completely undermine are one of 14 teams that, as of tonight, right, it's just been sent to me.
Are
As of
above us. 15.
As of tonight,
15, sir.
Let's have finish. Let's have finish.
And I've been, Jesus Christ, as of tonight, for 3 years, going back to the 10th of February 2023, Tottenham Hotspur
That's kind of
are 15th over a 3-year period. So when we say go back to a mid-table team, these teams that we all talk about have overtaken us because our squad is so shit, right?
Yep.
We sit here and we say these players are better than what they're showing. Someone will get more out of them. Fine, but we are 15th over a 3-year period. That's over 1,000 days and over 130 games of football. Tottenham Hotspur are 15th in that league table. If that doesn't tell you that once we've sacked Frank, that's fine. But if that doesn't tell you that there is something fundamentally underlying terribly wrong with this squad and this football club, I don't know what does. Right? 15th. There's only 2 teams worse than us for those 3 calendar years. That is shocking, right? So I'm not saying keep Frank. I'm not saying that a manager can't come in and get more percentage of effort out of them. But at some stage, we are going to have to look at that data and say, this has been shit for years, but everyone refuses to believe it because we papered over it with a Europa League win. The data does not lie. These players lose week after week after week for 3 years.
I don't disagree. I'm just talking about in the general, whatever. You're entirely right about the mid-level, whatever. That in fact we are in our dreams a mid-level team at the moment, right? But I'm talking about in the general where our club should be is somewhere around generally for Tottenham Hotspur. I think, most of us forget about the squad. If they'd have been investing properly and whatever else, we should be as a club with the stadium we have revenues. If we were run properly and so on, then we should be at least a top 6 side. Yes,
sure, but we're not run properly, and the
I
squad
know,
isn't
because
good,
it's like we've
right?
got, yeah, because it's a complete and utter show of ineptitude. And the scary thing is,
swap our forwards with them, Hugo. Which
What's
clubs
that?
would really swap? Which clubs would swap our forwards with them?
well, maybe
our current available
championship
forwards
side.
are our entire forwards. You know, our current forwards are not the same as our available forwards, right? Like we obviously we've got.
No,
So we're talking about available forwards then.
Of course, available forwards, but we knew, didn't we, that Son had gone, and we did fuck all about it. We knew that Maddison and Kulusevski are goal scorers and creators, and brought in players that aren't creators and goal scorers to replace them. We knew what we were doing. We had this evidence last summer, then we had the evidence in January, and we've not done anything about it. And this is why I feel sorry for whoever the next guy that comes in, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit there and I'll say this right now in front of 2,000 people, whatever. Welcome to Tottenham and good luck. Welcome and good luck, right? Because we can all sit there and go, there's something in Tel, there's something in Odegaard, Sarr with the right manager, Gray with the right manager. Could Sosa be? I'm sorry, this squad is not it. This is
this available squad is, but if you were to take 14 players out of any squad, you probably have the same conversation, right?
The irony
that's
is
why I don't think with those players fit, we're sitting 15th.
Agreed.
100%. But it is where it is, and that's what I'm saying. Like, is Thomas Frank the guy to get you out of a trench in trench warfare? And I don't think he is. You know,
no, I'm not defending that part.
He's not a leader,
and I'm not suggesting that he hasn't had a horrible fucking run of bad luck with regards to injuries. And we'll never know whether he could have been a good manager at Tottenham because he never has had a full strength team to work with, and he hasn't been backed. And all those things are absolutely true. But the reality is, sometimes you put aside all of that empathy, that sympathy, that kind of goodwill, and say it is what it is. But buddy, look, we are where we are for a bunch of different reasons, and unfortunately, we have to get ourselves out of trouble. And you're not the guy to do it.
Do you feel for the next guy really though, Sean?
There is. Listen, they got a choice. They got a choice to stick or twist. If they decide to stick, the way the form has been. And the way we lost Odegaard, so there's another injury tonight. If it carries on like this, we will end up losing not far short of the 22 games we lost last season.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't see us winning it. I don't know where we're winning our next game. I never felt we were confident going in tonight. I'd said 1-1, and I usually back Tottenham as best I can. But I haven't. On all the predictions that I've done on Football Inc. and on Spurs 5, I haven't predicted a Tottenham win for 2 months. If you notice, Lubo, that's why I'm sitting on top of the table, because I don't know what you want from me. That's what we do here. But like at the end of the day, it's a problem. Saba, I know you got to go. I know you're starting your show. If you need to jump off and get your show going, I'll redirect everybody over in like 5 minutes. If that's okay with you, mate.
Peace out. Look, nice to meet you, Matt. Nice to meet you, Hugo. And the other two, as always. See you later.
Appreciate you, Sav. Love you, man. We'll just finish up, guys, and then we'll send everybody over to Savas for more of the same. Sorry, Luba, I cut you off ages ago, mate, and then we never got around to come back to your point.
If it carries on like this, we will lose. I mean, you can't. Where is the next win going to come from? And the worse the results get, the more the confidence drops. He's got to go. He has to go. I don't know what to say.
We are in a death spiral.
It is. It is a complete spiral. We've gone from 3rd to 16th in 17 games.
The problem is once the players stop believing in any of the instructions that they're being told, then effectively it's over. And by judging by the attitudes, judging by just, the abject, it's like one half of football that's all right. The other half, which has typically been the one where it's been a Thomas Frank tactics show, has been horrendous. There's only so many times that you can arrive at the same outcome having been told the same tactics before you turn around as a sportsman and you say, do you know what? I don't think you know what you're saying. And as soon as the coach is not being heard by the players, it's game over.
Hugo, in hindsight, looking back, they should have got rid of him weeks ago.
I said that. They should have got rid of him.
Should have gone after West Ham.
As I said the other night, the big problem is we had nobody on the balls with any football knowledge. You've got, for me, Benai who's doing a shit job. You've got Lang who's done a shit job. And you've got...
None of them are leaders. None of them are leaders.
Lubo, or anyone, can I ask you then, who is the one who managed to get Spurs back into the game and give us a performance like we saw against Man City in the second half the other day or last week, whenever it was?
Polina.
Well, I thought Archie Gray had a bloody good game.
Polini.
Was it the players or was it the manager?
No, it was Well, it's the same thing every fucking time, though, Danny. We give the game away in the first half, and then the second half we come out and we rally, right? But like,
who is that though? Is that the players or the manager?
26 times this season, when we have gone 1-0 down, we don't. Well, not necessarily all 26, but in the 26 games this season, when you can see the first goal, Tottenham don't win. I said this before the game. Eddie Howe's going to come out of the traps fucking hot because he's going to say,
you did say that. You did say that.
He's going to say, go and smash the granny out of them in the first half. Come in at half time, 1-0 up. We're walking away with at least a point. Right? It's the easiest fucking template. We get better in the second half. But the first half, and it's not just that first half of football. It was the first half against Arsenal. It was the first half against Chelsea. It was the first half against City. It was the first half against Wolves. It was the first half against Villa in the Cup. It was the first half against
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. It was the first half against
Monaco,
Nottingham Forest. It was the first half against Monaco. God knows how Nottingham Forest. Did I say Nottingham Forest? That was horrendous.
Yes, it is.
The Brighton game as well, at the beginning of the season.
I don't know how many games our first half football.
The second half we did.
I said to Johnny, said I'm going to miss the first half because Lynn wants to stay on the beach and soak up as much sun as she can. I said, so what? You're going to be at the airport for the second half? He said, yeah. I said, don't worry then, mate. You'll arrive at the airport. We'll be 1-0 down, but at least you'll see Tottenham fight back. You know.
So who do you blame for that? Do you blame
template?
Yeah. So who do you blame for that? The players or the manager?
The manager.
So you don't.
If we don't blame the manager for setting the team up and getting them motivated, then what is a manager for? Everyone. I don't know everyone's jobs. Everyone in the chat. There's 1,800 people here. Still, if you have had a job as a manager, if your job is to manage a sales team or to manage a team or something, your job is to make sure that they get their shit done.
Yeah, but it also works the same way, Jordan. If you're a salesperson and you've got a manager who's trying to motivate you, if you're not doing your job, then how are you going to perform, right? If you're my manager and you're telling me, right, this is what you need to do. Hold on. Let me just say this, Sean, right? If you're my manager and you're telling me, you're giving me all the best advice on how to hit my target for the month, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, do you know what? Fuck it. Yeah,
then you sack that guy. Clearly.
Yeah. Right. No, but you sacked the guy. So why can't we do the same thing about the players? Because to me, I see the players.
Why didn't Thomas?
I see the players doing the exact thing.
Thomas Frank should have dropped Romero for the United game for his.
Yeah, that I agree with. And that's where I agree with Thomas.
Thomas Frank should have dropped Jed Spence for his disgusting behaviour earlier on in the season, taking his shirt off and throwing it on the floor, disobeying him. He should have dropped Van der Ven. He needs to have a fucking backbone. The guy doesn't have a backbone. He's a fucking invertebrate, mate. He's a worm.
Yeah, I agree.
They're both respected. Top international players come with a certain level of aura and ego. And to that end, you've got to have a manager who, if you haven't been there, done that, got the t-shirt, you need to prove yourself early doors, because most people that are competent, who are then being given orders by someone who, in the grand scheme of things, is less competent, then if you don't get the results, the people that have been there and done that and achieved stuff start to look at the person that's giving the orders and says, do you know what? I don't think I'm going to listen to what you have to tell me. It's natural human behavior.
So would you then say then the last two manager appointments have been the worst in Tottenham's history because the players didn't listen to Ange either?
But I would say, Danny, that Jed Spence and Van der Ven would not have done that to Ange. He wouldn't have had that.
Well, they kind of did. They kind of did.
He wouldn't have taken that. He wouldn't have taken
Ange
that.
would not have. He would have definitely given them. He probably would have dropped them or given them a roll.
I
He
don't know,
wouldn't have
mate.
dropped them. He wouldn't have
Christian
dropped them.
Gross was pretty bloody terrible. But I would say between Christian Gross and this Danish pastry, mate, is pretty. They're pretty much.
Andre Villas-Boas. There's been a few. Hey guys, listen. I want to say I'll give Lubo's been cut off there from his last word. I just want to do 5 super chats. I'll give everyone their last take, and then Hugo's just gone. Then we're going to hand you over to Sava in 2 minutes. But I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Oh, Matt's gone as well. Someone's back. Hugo's back. He will keep coming back and keep dropping off. Lemos from South Africa, I think that is, or Zimbabwe maybe. Big up to you, mate, for your super sticker. Choo choo to you, buddy. Very much appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much indeed, choo choo. He's also been a member for 1 month. Sorry, and he says 1 fit winger left. That is all we have. Big up to you, Lemos, mate. Appreciate you very much. Robert Palmer has said. Klinsmann with Houghton and Mason vibes plus experience. I don't want Mason back. I don't rate Chris Houghton, and Klinsmann's not going to come in on a short termer. So respectfully, Robert, I'm not on board that one, mate. But listen, it's all just opinions, and listen, I'm open here to any suggestion right now.
Where's you,
buddy? Massive shout out to Jordan Coys94, my man. I said to you yesterday on Savage Show, I said whenever if Sava's sunsetting his career on top, this guy, come over here, say hi.
Jordan.
Bring up to you. I was only joking, Jordan, mate, but welcome, buddy, and thank you very much, mate. You don't have to do that, man, at all. But thank you so much, mate. Absolute legend for you. I was only messing around when I said it, but welcome to the show.
Jordan spitting facts here.
He says we have Vicario in goal. Dragusin at centre-back, who's been out for a year. No left-back, who's properly match-fit. No right-winger, and a midfielder that specialises in nothing.
Yep.
And any manager who
Facts.
gets anything out of this is a magician.
Facts.
You know what, Jordan?
Facts.
Fucking welcome to the channel, bro. That's an
Absolute fact. That's basically what I've been saying, but in a different way.
Yeah, we haven't got any left winger at all at the moment, have we? We got no one.
Sean, we have 1 fit winger.
1 fit winger.
One fit winger. You'll never sing that.
It's all right. 10 days time.
Unbelievable. Yeah, only got the best team in the world in a couple of weeks. Yeah. Big up to you, Jordan, mate. Hey, mate, to Jordan, when I said it to you on the Savage Show, I wasn't trying to hijack you over here, man. But listen, thank you very much for your super chat, mate, and I appreciate you very much. Awesome comment, mate. Very, very absolute legend, buddy. And Craig Fenner, big up to you, has said it's so bad. 365 are trying to get me to cash out. Trying to get you to cash out of your relegation bet. Fucking stick to the plan, mate. Don't take it. Don't take it, Craig. Don't take it. Big up to you, guys. Listen, last words. We're going to hand you over to Sava. Lubo, you haven't spoken, mate. Sorry, man. It's been a bit hectic. Last words, Lubo.
Just a bit numb. If they don't get rid of Frank, we might.
They won't know.
We might win 2 if we're lucky between now and the end of the season, and we will go down. We get rid of Frank, even if it's Heitinger. The players need a fresh voice there. They need, it needs to change. Whatever it is, listen, it could go horribly wrong. We could lose virtually every game between now and the end of the season. But if you stick instead of twist, we all know where it's going. And it ain't going to change. 2 in 17 will become 2 in 18, could become, 3 in 29. And it'll be disastrous. But I still think if they get rid of him, I'm very confident we'll stay up. Don't know why, but I do think we'll win enough games to stay up. But they've got to get rid of this guy. It's just not working. It's just not working.
I appreciate you, Lubo. Thanks for coming on, mate. Danny, final words. He's got to go. He's got to go. No, you're not sure. I don't think you're not sure.
No. I honestly don't care if he goes or not. Like, I really don't care. To me, I've been saying this for weeks and weeks. It doesn't. For me, I'm exactly what Jordan said. It really doesn't matter who the manager is, because right now our squad is absolutely decimated, and I think anyone who can get anything out of these players especially when we've got players who can't score to save their life, I think is they should build a statue of the geezer. That's what I think. So it doesn't matter. I still think if Frank is in charge, which I don't know, I don't think he's going to get sacked. I don't think we're getting relegated. And I'll make a bet with anyone who wants to make a bet with me for charity if they want to do that.
I'll have 20 quid with you that if Frank stays to the end of the season, we go down.
Okay,
I'll bet 20. Either if you're having that bet, I'll put in 20 quid. Whoever wins, I'll put 20 quid in charity. Big up to you, Danny.
All right,
Matt. Final words, mate. You're Frank out, are you?
Yeah, mate. I've been probably since Arsenal, to be honest, mate. I don't think he's the right fit. I don't think he gets the club, and I just don't think he's. I don't think he's attracted himself to the fans enough. I don't get inspired by him. I'm bored by his press conferences. I'm sure the players are bored of training with him and having to see him on the touchline. It said it all to me tonight. The body language. There was no pressing. I'm done, mate. He's got to go.
He's got to go. Big up to you, Matt. Hugo, I'm not going to give you final words, mate. I'm going to give them to Jasper. Get out of the way, Hugo. Get out of the way. Get out of the seat. Jasper.
Here you go.
Welcome to the show, my man. Final words, buddy. Listen, we're going to get you up. We're going to get you on the show on the Fan Co this week. Final words, buddy, before we hand over. Are you Frank? You're Frank out, I guess, or Frank in? What are you saying, my man?
I don't see Frank sticking around for a while after the performances we've had. Like we couldn't even get a win against Burnley. That was probably one of the worst matches I've seen Tottenham play all year. I mean, I don't see him staying. He's a terrible manager. At the start of the year, we were all like, "Oh, he's going to be a great manager." Like we're so excited, and then we come right now, and now we see he's a bad manager. We've had him for however long, and it's not fitting in and not working out for us.
Perfect, mate. Jasper, absolute legendary, mate. Legendary performance.
Jasper.
Brilliant words from you, mate. Jasper, how old are you?
I'm 10.
Unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. Great show, mate. Well done, buddy. Hugo, you've raised a good one there, mate. We'll get you guys on this week on the Fan Show. We're going to leave it there, guys. Well done, Jasper. Absolutely smashing it. And your dogs are cute as hell as well. Guys, we're going to leave it there. Stay where you are, everybody in the chat. We are sending you over to Sava. I might go and join Sava. Stay where you are. Appreciate everyone. Thank you for the super chats and everything. He's got to go. He has to go. Big up, Jasper. See you guys. Appreciate everyone.
Cheers.